Okay guys, it's Sunday the 18th of March and we are on the FTSE 100. So I'm in Glasgow this weekend, making the video on my laptop. As always, what we're going to do is we're going to have a quick recap of the market from last week in relation to the analysis that we had. And then we'll move on to the trading week ahead. We'll look at the key zones for day trading the week ahead. And I'll take you through what it is that I am looking at with the FTSE 100. So last week, on the Friday, we'd made a strong bullish run up, basically Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We were back up toward the 240 level. And what we went over was how we were still not overly bullish on this market, really, until we started breaking up above at least these levels up here toward 7,300, and then starting breaking above the previous swing highs. So coming into Monday and Tuesday, we had a very, very strong move down. We found our base down toward that 7,100 level of support. We bounced on the Wednesday, and then basically with subscribers, we started looking for the potential move back up after Wednesday, the potential move back up toward the 170 to 180 level. Now what I'm going to do is delete some of this, and then we're going to go on to the 5-minute time frame. And I'm going to have a look at what we were looking at really coming into the end of the week, giving us a little bit of a clue as to a potential FTSE breakout, which added a little bit of weight to that move back up toward the 180 level. So let me just turn this back on. We'll drop down to the 5-minute time frame. I'll turn the indicator off at present. Okay, so basically, where are we here? So this is Friday's price action. What we're looking at was that from Wednesday, back here, the potential for this market to have been putting in a squeeze. Like this. So the market tested on the Wednesday, it then came down, bounced, 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 it came back down, started testing at the lower band of a potential triangle, and then coming into the Friday, we broke up above this level. We tried to get back down there and test, we failed. We then came back down again and we hit on the upper band, so the sloping what is then support, and we came back up to test at that 7185 target area. So that's why it can be quite handy to keep your eye on things like patterns on the intraday time frame, because I wouldn't really trade off a pattern solely by itself. But if it's lining up with analysis that I've already got, it can add a very, very good strong confluence. Certainly if it's lining up with something like your trading support and resistance zones, or in this case it was lining up with that potential bounce back up toward 7170, 7180, you know, the exact test before we had the market rocketing off toward that level. Okay, so now coming into next week, what are we looking at? Let's get back onto the daily time frame. So one of the main things is that potentially the market is giving us a little bit of a clue that we are looking to turn a little bit more bullish. Now, this can change, but what we're going to do is we're going to go over what it's telling us thus far and why we're getting that message. So down toward 7115, we can see the market on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday tested at this level of support almost exactly on 3 separate occasions. So down into 7100. Now the market has hit that level 3 times, bounced, bounced, bounced. Now we haven't gone anywhere as yet, but there's the potential that the market is now putting in a double bottom. The second time we've came down to test, the bulls have stepped in higher up. There's the potential that we're going to see the bulls stepping in. Now, for the confirmation of a double bottom like this, really we need to see the break up above this central point of that double bottom. But at present, all we're doing is we're using it to give us the clues for the key levels of potential support and resistance. We're coming into next week, really this whole section down here, we'd actually bring it up a little bit to take into account the spike down on the Friday. So 7100 toward 7125. This remains very key support now. It's only if the FTSE starts breaking down below this level that we start to get the confirmation that the market is then looking more bearish once again. Then really after so many tests at this exact level, I would then start to look for a stronger move down, at least back down towards 7,075. I'd really be expecting us to come back down toward the 7,050 to 7,000 levels. That's only if we start failing at these levels now. Now down below there we have 7,085 down into 7,060. Again, it's a strong level of support. So basically, if we're breaking down below this level, I'd be happy to look for the moves down into 7,085 to 7,060. If we start breaking down below this level, I'd then start to look for the moves down, really toward at least sort of 7,000. If we're breaking down below also, it's worthwhile looking for support and the bounces higher once again. Very key resistance now is at this whole level at 7,260. Really all the way down to, it's really all the way down to 7,225. That's really this whole section at the center of what is potentially setting up as this double bottom. If we're breaking up above there now, it's a good level to look for potential moves up toward at least 7,295 and more than likely back up toward the previous highs at 7,335. Previous level of structure. So above there we have that level of resistance sitting at, we could say the round number 7,300 down towards 7,290 right here. So really for me next week, this is the key levels of support, this is the key level of resistance. Then in between there we have a few more levels. We've got one at 7,200 down towards, let's have a look at this, 7,180 right here. So this is lining up with the previous swing point where we bounced once. We then came back up, we tested at it. Last week we were testing at it once again. Rejection and rejection. Again, this is a key level of resistance. We're starting to break up above this level. I'd then be happy to look for the moves up into 7,225 once again. Down below there, we've got one sitting at 7,163. It's really all the way down to 7,150 right here. Okay, so those are the main levels I'm watching for next week. The key thing is we have key resistance up above, key support down below, and it's really if we start breaking out of these levels that we're then looking for further movement on the FTSE. But really 7,225, 7,260 and 7,125, 7,100, both of those ones are the main ones. If we're starting to break up above this one, we then look for the moves up into the next zone. Down below this one, the moves down into the next zone, and then in between we have these two strong levels also, 7,200, 7,178, 7,163 to 7,152. Okay guys, so that is everything for this week. As always, I hope you found that helpful. I hope you all have a great trading week next week. I'm James Orr, and thank you.